Welcome back, friends. Today, we're diving headfirst into a true Southern classic. I took on the biggest catfish I could find, and I'm going to deep fry it to golden perfection. I can't wait to show you how I transform this river giant into a crispy, irresistible feast. If you're loving this catfish adventure so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I share these wild cooking stories all the time, and you won't want to miss the next River to Table challenge. All right, friends, I'm finally diving into the cooking. This is where the river giant turns into a golden, crispy feast. But before the oil heats up, let me share a little story about catfish. These creatures have been swimming in American rivers for centuries, feeding families from the Mississippi to Louisiana's bayous. Catfish were more than food, they were survival. People fished them with simple lines and baskets, teaching their kids patience and respect for the river. I remember my first bite of fried catfish at a summer festival. The crunch, the smoky aroma. It's a taste that sticks with you forever. Frying catfish became a tradition in the South thanks to settlers blending African, French, and Native American cooking techniques. They discovered that a crisp, seasoned crust transforms the mild, tender fish into something unforgettable. It's a ritual around family and community tables.
Todo. Baksana.
People often say that catfish is humble food, but it carries stories in every bite. During tough times, neighbors would swap catfish recipes and share catches, keeping communities alive. I've talked to grandmothers who still recall fishing at dawn and frying by dusk, laughter filling the air. And here's a fun fact. Catfish can survive in muddy waters where other fish can't. That resilience made them essential to survival. Families depended on them, and over generations, Frying became the ultimate way to honor the fish's gift. Before we move on, I want to take a quick moment to mention my online store. You can grab honey, sauces, nuts, teas, and jams there. Perfect for pairing with dishes like this or just treating yourself. Just scan the QR code on screen to check it out. Back to the catfish. Southern cooks would coat the fish in cornmeal or seasoned flour, then fry it until it was perfectly golden. That crackle when it hits the oil is pure music. The smell fills the kitchen, and everyone gathers around, hungry eyes fixed on the pan. Catfish was often served with sides like hush puppies or collard greens. Every family had its secret touch. Maybe a dash of paprika, maybe a squeeze of lemon. I've met chefs who still insist that their great-grandparents taught them the perfect seasoning. The history of catfish is also a story of ingenuity. People had to figure out ways to keep it fresh before refrigeration, smoking, pickling, or just frying immediately. Each method added layers of flavor and culture to the dish we now love. I once spoke with a fisherman in Louisiana who said, "A good catfish feeds more than the belly. It feeds the soul." That line stuck with me. Every time I fry one, I think of those families and rivers, and it feels like I'm connecting to that history. I've fried the catfish to perfection, and while I was talking, it's already golden and sizzling. Now comes the part I love most, slicing it open, seeing that tender, flaky meat inside. The smell hits you first, the steam rising, and you just know it's going to be incredible. Now it's time to bring some color to our dish. I'm slicing fresh tomatoes, carrots, bell peppers, and onions. These vegetables aren't just for taste. They add crunch, sweetness, and a little acidity that balances the richness of the catfish. Pairing catfish with vegetables is actually a tradition with deep roots. In the South, cooks would simmer their catch with whatever was in the garden, turning a simple fish into a hearty, nourishing meal for the family. I love how the smell of onions and bell peppers sautéing in the pan takes me back to my grandmother's kitchen. She used to toss in tomatoes and carrots with a little butter, and suddenly the whole house smelled like home. In Louisiana, there's a tradition of cooking catfish with a holy trinity of vegetables: onions, peppers, and celery. It's the base of gumbo, etouffee, and other iconic dishes. I like to add a personal twist with tomatoes and carrots. Historically, these combinations weren't just about flavor. Early settlers discovered that simmering fish with vegetables helped preserve nutrients and stretch the meal further for large families. Thanks so much for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this catfish adventure and all the stories behind it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more delicious chaos coming your way. You don't want to miss it.